Do you have any idea what I've been through tonight? Night at the Museum is really a father-son story at its core. It's about a guy, Ben Stiller, who is bounced around job to job and is waiting for his moment. The movie opens with his son saying,
"You're just an ordinary guy who should get a job."
You know what? We'll figure it out, okay?
And so Ben's character, Larry Daly, takes what he thinks is the most mundane, ordinary job imaginable, only to discover that, in fact, his moment, it just arrived.
I grew up about 5 blocks from the Museum of Natural History in New York, and the idea of everything coming to life at night there is just sort of a really appealing idea. To me, it just felt like something I'd want to see.
You always think, like, what are these, at night, maybe they move.
Hey, Mark.
When we were casting this movie, I kind of went at it with the mindset of, let's not get a Robin Williams type. Let's not get an Owen Wilson type. Let's not get a Ben Stiller type. Let's get the real guys. I really targeted the top of the mountain. You end up with a cast with a range from Mickey Rooney to Dick Van Dyke to Robin Williams. It was a director's dream. Ben, try one of those awkward kind of beats.
Were you checking her out?
That nerve!
Because, you know, she's very beautiful.
From the get-go, it was imperative that the movie be realistic, which is a weird thing to say about a movie in which things come to life. Let the circumstances be kind of fantastic. Let the behavior be real.
Ready, and action!
Ah! Cecil's Larry Daly!
How can I help you, Larry?
The dinosaur's alive! I mean, that's the thing about Ben. At every turn, he's like, is this believable? Would I say this? Would I do this? Would you?
Yeah, I could look after him and then look back at my thing.
Yeah.
And then, like, I could almost stay on my stomach.
Ben Stiller is, in my opinion, and hopefully he doesn't see this because it's critical that, like, I pretend not to be that impressed by him, but he's got this brand of comedy that is really unique to him.
Fetch.
He's kind of started a dynasty. His parents, you know, Stiller and Mira, were wonderful. He's inherited that innate sense of timing.
Oh, don't do it. We're too old for surprises.
Oh, really? I thought you loved surprises. Yeah, you know, like everything in the museum comes to life at night.
I think you're always trying to come up with anything that might just be an option that might be funny, and I think that's one of the great things about making movies is that you can try a lot of different things.
When someone really knows how to improvise, which Ben certainly does, you end up in a position where something can happen and you can actually have an organic response to it as opposed to sort of sticking to the script. And I think we have a really strong script to stand on, so the combination just makes it really fun.
We've had such great fun just playing with the script and just goofing around, really.
I don't find it funny. Sarcasm. Back at you with your humour box.
I don't know what that means. Oh my God. I have no idea what that means. Keep going. It doesn't mean anything.
There was a lot of improvising. There was also a lot of cracking each other up. These actors found each other so funny. But I think also there was a certain degree of trying to impress each other. So they brought their A game for each other every time. As a result, it's like heavyweight bouts of comic giants just kind of throwing windmills all day long. From day one, Teddy Roosevelt had to be Robin Williams.
Human progress is measured in footsteps and body lengths. If you can get the inhabitants of this museum to stop fighting, perhaps we wouldn't have to be locked up every night.
There's something about Robin where we just knew and he could inhabit this larger-than-life character perfectly.
That's true. Teddy Roosevelt did those things. But I'm not Teddy.
He's just so perfect for it and was so funny.
Getting my bearings, taking a compass reading. I would never check her out.
And that quick stream of consciousness he has a difficulty sticking to the script because ideas are popping in his head as he speaks.
I think I hear the woolly mammoth. Bye. You're a mime.
There's never been anybody like Robin, and never will be again.
This whole thing for me has been fun because it's like one long Halloween. And I come from San Francisco, and that has a great tradition.
He has such a beautiful heart in this character as Teddy.
You're worth saving, my dear.
Watching him, you forget that that you're not watching Teddy Roosevelt somehow.
Hello?
Just kidding. When they started talking about casting the roles of the guards, these names came up, like Mickey Rooney and Dick Van Dyke, and I remember Sean and I both just sitting there going, wow, wouldn't that be crazy if we got Dick Van Dyke to be in the movie?
I have retired several times in the last 10 years. I can't seem to get it done. But when they sent it to me, it was that rare thing, a really good family movie, which is what I do. I don't do anything else. So I said, I got to be a part of this.
You start with 1, 2, 3.
Let me guess. 4.
What are you, a smart guy?
Like anybody else, you go for the interview, and we all sat around a table, and we said a few things and this and that, and the next thing you know, we're all in it. Everybody's going to be just awestruck.
And then you come storming over for He Looks Like a Weirdo.
He looks like a weirdo.
We grew up watching these guys. They taught us all a thing or two about professionalism and, above all, just love of the work.
When I was a kid, I loved Laurel and Hardy and Buster Keaton and Harold Lloyd and all those guys. I loved to do falls and take pies in the face and that kind of thing. So my stuff was pretty physical.
Dick Van Dyke, I mean, I watched the shows. He's funny. He's always funny. He's like a life force. With Mickey, you have to realize he's history. He's Hollywood history. I mean, you think of all the people he's worked with. You know Judy Garland, man. Dude.
President Roosevelt, this is my friend Rebecca.
And Anna.
Hi.
Carla Gugino plays the docent at the museum. I know what you're saying. What's a docent? I have no idea, but it's in the script. It says she's a docent, and apparently it's a really attractive woman who knows a lot about history.
Sacagawea was the woman who led Lewis and Clark on their expedition to find the Pacific Ocean. It's interesting because this character really, to her, history is alive. And of course, to Ben's character, it literally is coming to life. So they have this thing to bond over even though she doesn't know that that's actually happening.
And Carla, she came in to a land of comic giants, and she did it. She was fantastic.
What's happening? This is a museum. Do you know what museum means? It doesn't mean, ooh, Daddy, it's a big Tyrannosaurus thing.
Ricky Gervais, who plays McPhee, who's my boss, Ben and I had a couple of scenes with him together, and literally we could not keep a straight face. I mean, we had to do take after take because either Ben would crack up or I would crack up.
Ricky Gervais has a problem.
It's impossible to do off camera for him.
Yeah.
He's
Really.
too funny.
Ask him, he'll tell you he's not a professional actor. Because a professional actor would never crack up. I've never cracked up. You've never cracked up.
Never.
It was 2 days' work and £4 million, which I think is called a cameo. Although Ben Stiller says I'm an extra.
He cracks up literally every take. And himself.
Well, my basic problem with it as an actor is I still find everything funny. I can't suspend my disbelief. I look around, there's people with cameras and crew, many of them with beards, walking around. I go, well, this isn't real.
Maybe save the funny till the turn.
You're going to think he's trying not to be funny, but he's still a short, fat man.
Annabelle.
Yeah! Come on, Archie! At your service, Gigantor. How can we be of assistance, my liege?
We had these rolls of Octavius and Jedediah. These are literally 3-inch tall plastic figurines that come to life.
You guys got the whole room to run around in. You don't have to be near each other.
What, you mean you're gonna let us out?
We got Steve Coogan and Owen Wilson. Every scene where they're talking with Ben, they weren't even in the country. But it's not just that, it's that Ben would improvise 15 versions of that conversation.
Okay, Octavius, you have to stop. All right, listen, buddy, you gotta stop, okay? Because there's nothing behind the wall. All right? It's just there's cabling, we got wires, it's like 4 feet of concrete. It's a dead end, literally. I mean, you're not going anywhere. Try it one more time.
So I had to get appropriate responses from Steve and Owen. And the results are incredible. Those performances are highlights of the movie.
Rado, now it's time to let Smith & Wesson do the talking.
Those guns aren't even real.
Oh, this isn't real? Take a look at this. Don't trick me.
Ready? And what are you doing?
Put me down. Don't manhandle me or I'll shoot you in your eye.
Your little captain doesn't scare me.
Oh, yeah, well, it should.
Yeah, keep shooting. Nothing's gonna happen.
Carrie, you just focus on the flag.
Thank you.
And Matthew, I want you really pounding your chest, very King Kong.
Sean definitely has, I think, a very clear vision of what's going on and a love for actors.
No way!
Sean is the most energetic director I've ever worked with, the most energized person I think I've ever met. He's like the Energizer Bunny times 1,000 in terms of his energy. And I mean that in a good way.
He has that wonderful youthful exuberance and ambition about this movie. And he is so into it and so excited about it.
He's young, and he's interpretive, and he's pleasant to work with.
In the midst of a special effects movie, it's the hardest thing of all to keep track of characters. And that's what he's been doing. He's making sure that everything has a kind of a connection and a base. As outrageous as it is, they still connect.
Teddy! Teddy, if you're out there, I need you, pal!
I had a ball making this film, and I say that even though it was by far the hardest movie I've made. I think it's the movie of which I'm most proud because we decided going in that we were just going to get it right. And as a result, what's on this screen is as close to what was in my head as anything I've ever made.